Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chua. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made this short Ankara pants that I'm wearing. Please, if you are new here, please do well to subscribe, and thank you so much for all my returning subscribers. So we'll start by folding our fabric into two. So we'll first cut the front part before we use it to cut the back. So I'll first take the full length of my short, which is 13 inch. um I'll rule it out. Since we are using freehand, I'm going to be cutting adding all my stitch allowance. So I'll be folding this with 2 inch. So I'm going to add the 2 inch that I'll use in folding this short. So after adding it, I'll also rule it out. So the measurement that we'll be needing for all this, I'm going to display it on the screen for you guys. So then I will now go ahead to take my hip measurement. From my waist to my hip is 8 inch. Then I'll also take my crotch line. So how I got my crotch line was that I sat on a flat surface. I sat upright, then I took the measurement from my waist to the end of that place I was sitting on. So that's how you got it, and I got 10.5. This method is very accurate, though there are other methods in getting crotch extension, but this one is very accurate. It's very accurate, it doesn't go wrong. That's how I got my my crotch line, and it was 10.5. So that's basically all the vertical measurement I will be needing in drafting this um short pant that I'm about to show you guys. So I've cut out what is needed so that we can focus more on what we are working on. So I'm going to just rule it out, and this will be all the vertical measurements that I'll be needing. So after getting all my vertical measurement, which is my hip, my hip line, crotch line, and the length of my short pant, then I'm now going to start taking my horizontal measurement. So my horizontal measurement, I'll be needing my hip divided by 4. So I got 9.5. So I'm going to add extra half inch to make it 10. That will serve as my stitch allowance. Since we are doing freehand, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to be adding my stitch allowance. I'll also place that 10 inch on my crotch line. So I'm just going to rule it, the crotch, the hip to my waist, straight line to my waist. So now it's time to get the crotch extension. So how to get your crotch extension is your hip divided by 4. Whatever you get, you also divide it by 4. So when I did that, I got 2.25. That's my crotch extension. So I'm just going to curve it like this to meet that 2.25. Just like you curve your armhole, that's how you got your crotch extension. That's basically the basic needs, all you need to know in drafting your front bodies. Now I'm going to remove my band. So my band is 1.5, but I'm going to be cutting off 1 inch because I'll use that half inch to stitch as my stitch. Since it's freehand, I'm going to be adding all my stitches, my stitch allowance, like I said earlier. So now I'm going to cut my waist. So my waist is divided by 4 is 7. So I'll mark 7. I'll also mark my dart because this pant is going to be having a dart. But if it was to be a free pant like a palazzo short, it won't need a dart, but since it's fitted, I'll be having a dart. Then I also added my stitch allowance. I'm just going to connect it from my hip upward to my waist. I'm connecting only from my hip to my waist, like you see me doing in the video. In case you don't get what I'm saying, always make sure you watch, you will get it. Now for my thigh measurement. So the measurement I took on my thigh was 12. That is, I divided my thigh measurement into 2. your thigh is always divided into two, so I got my 12, so I just connected it like this from my crotch extension to my thigh, then I roll it down. It's a very short pant, so I don't need my knee measurement and the rest. That's basically all you need in drafting your front body. So in getting your tie, you have to take your measurement the way you want it to be free. Me, I don't want it fitted on my thigh side, so I took a very free measurement and it was 24. I divided it into two, so I got 12. So I just placed the 12 plus my stitch allowance half inch, 12.5. So I'm going to be notching my darts, the place I'm going to be putting my dart. That's basically all in drafting your front bodies. So we'll use this one now to cut the back side. This particular material that I'm using, it has pattern, so I'm going to make sure I work with the pattern. So I'll head over to the waist of my pants, then I'll go in by 1 inch, and I'll now go up from that place by 1.5, since I don't have big butt. But if you have big butt, you can go up by 2 inch or 2.5, depending on how on your backside. So me, I went up by 1.5. Then I now connect it to the other side of my waist. So I'm doing that so that it will sit properly. So for my crotch extension, the back is always longer than the front crotch extension. So since I got 2.25, so I'm also going to add that 2.25 extra to the back side, making it 4.5 inch. So I'm just going to connect it like this to make my crotch extension for the back. I'll connect it to that part that I did at the back, that I went in by 1 inch, like you see me doing in the video. So I connected it like that. Since I'm already short of 1 inch, because I went in by 1 inch, so I'm going to replace that 1 inch on the other side of my hip side. Since I went in by 1 inch on my crotch side, I will go out by that 1 inch on my hip side, like you see me demonstrating on the video. So I'm just going to rule 1 inch downward on the other side is 1 inch. So I'll just take that 1 inch to the other side. I went in by 1 inch before going up by 1.5, since I don't have big butt. So I'm just going to replace that 1 inch downward like that on my short. This will help. The reason why I'm doing all this is so that the butt will sit properly. If you don't go up by 1.5, then you extend it by 1 inch to the other side, the butt is going to look so flat, like it will not sit properly, like it will be struggling for hair. So that is why we do that. So now I'm just going to connect this new crotch line downwards to meet my short, the end of my short. Then I'm just going to cut. I will cut on that, on those places that I marked. Since I already added my stitch allowance, it's freehand. I've already added my stitch allowance, so I'll cut directly on the chalked side of my trousers, of my pants. That is basically how you draft your short pants. Now we are going to start cutting our pocket, which is the next most vital step. We'll cut our pocket. But so in getting our pocket, we don't need the back side of our short knicker, so we'll be using our front part. So I went down by 6 inch on my hip side, of course, by 6 inch. Then I went in on my waist side by 1.5. I went in on my waist side by 1.5. Then the down part, that is the 6 inch, my hip part, then I went in by just 1 inch. So that's the shape I want. That's how the, the sharp cut I want. So I'm just going to rule it out like this to connect it out, like you see me do it in the video. That will be basically all. Then I'm just going to cut it out on both sides. Remember, I'm cutting on both sides because it has two pockets. So that's basically all. That's it. Like that's the first step you need to do. So I'm going to cut a piece of of this thing, of material for my pockets. So I'll just make it long as long as that pants. I will make it long to fit in like you see on the video, like 10-inch wide, just like my hip length. So I'm just going to trim one side of that pieces to just fit in. Like I'll just trim it. I will pin it first so it doesn't shake. Then I will now pin it, then I'll now trim one side like you see me doing in the video. Sometimes it's very hard to explain, like you just have to watch and see what I'm doing. You get the point I'm trying to pass out. So that is what it looks like. So I'm going to place it like this, right side facing each other. Then I will sew it. Remember, I only cut one part, not both side. I only cut one part. This is what it looks like. So now I'm just going to fold it over like this to meet the other side. Then I'll pin it. If you fold, like you have to fold it to be equal with the other side because you are going to stitch it. So I'm going to pin it like this all round so it doesn't move. I'll pin it like this. See, it's already looking like the pocket. That is basically how you get your pocket. It's not a rocket science. That's just how you get your pocket. If you don't understand this video, you should watch it again. You'll get it. So I've gone ahead to put my dart. So I just went in by 4-inch long. I don't want this dart to be too long because it's short. I don't want to do too much. So I've stitched it. I've stitched my pocket. This is basically what it looks like. That is how you get your side pocket for your trousers. Please do well, if you've watched to this extent, please do well to like this video and subscribe, please. So now I'm going to do it like this, right side facing each other. Then I will stitch on it. I'll also do for the back part of my trouser. Then I'll place it like this, right side facing each other. I will make sure, if you are sewing a trouser, a short, a pant, whatever you are sewing, and your back side is not wider than the front part, please, you are making a mistake. Your back side has to be wider than the front bodies. That is how you know that you are doing the right thing. So I left 6-inch upward for my zip allowance because I'm going to be attaching zip at the side. Then I'm going to stitch on it like this. This is what it looks like basically. So for my band, now for my band, I've went to cut my band. So you have to, of course, you have to measure your waist round to know how long you will cut your band. So I've cut my band. So my band was 2-inch wide when it is folded. So on fold it is 4. When I folded it, it was 2 inch because I'm going to be stitching 1/2 inch, then it will result to 1.5. So how I used to do my band is that I pinned one side of the band facing the right side like you see me doing on the video. Facing the right side, I pinned it round like this. Then I'll now use the other side to cover it like you see me doing on the video. I first pinned one side facing the right side, then I'll now use one side to cover it. With this, I'll end up with a very clean band. That is how I get my band. So at the end of the day, this is what we get. I will now go ahead to fix my zip. This is your pants. Please, if you watched to the extent of this video, that means you enjoyed what I'm doing or you've learned something. Please do well to like my video and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Have a great day. Thank you.